All right, we are live. Let me refresh this thing. Make sure you can see us and hear us. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. And we're good to go. All right, let me see who's here. We got a lot of good stuff to cover today. We're going to start off with the finds and then into our topic. J. Lou, what's up? Kevin, Rory, Matt, Swoopman, William Perry. There we go. Vegas Valet from Chi-Town. Rory Matt says eBay going very strong. So,
Sheesh.
and Palma, our boy Danny, what's up? Edwards World, One Kick Finder, Shoe Monster, Retrospective Gear, my boy, Koo Kicks, there we go. AN, what up? Broadway B, what's good? Good to see you. All right, let's start off with, I know we got more people coming in soon. Girl on Fire, there we go. With the finds first, and you guys are gonna like this topic today. On a recent article that came out about some of these Ross Burlington stores and what their plans are. Not only that, some numbers coming from them. So let's see what they're up to. All right, into the store stuff. Marshalls, Browntown finds on some of the cleats and the Jordan Mid on the I think preschool on that one. $40 on that one, and Tiempo's at 30.
Bro,
Now,
not bad, not bad. At
not bad
least
at
you got
all.
quantity.
There we go. And Nike at my Marshalls may or may not be there. We'll have to see on a video. Lakers shorts, $10.
Oh,
Burlington. I know
yeah,
10 bucks.
can't lose on $10.
Yeah, 10's fines. 75 official fines on Air Max Plus. So 113 comparable value. LeBron's, a lot of small sizes have been showing up. I didn't see this one before though. Four and a half, $80.
Oh, tiny.
I know. Uggs at 20. And what is this? Steph Curry? Couldn't even see the label on there.
Yep,
Let me
there is
see.
Steph Curry.
D-Bay, what's up? Baker Brand, Armand, people coming in, Manny Fresh, Sonny, there he
Sunny.
is. Let me see, Rory Matt. I feel like Ross has cut a deal with Mitchell and Ness. Found a '96 Karl Malone, beautiful purple jersey
I saw
today.
that.
I did see that too. Let me see. William Perry, delivery manager at Ross, told me what Jordan and the Nike account back a week ago. Interesting. So I think, well, definitely the Mitchell and Ness we know for sure because they've been at Burlington and now Ross. Here's that Karl Malone, Cokicks.la, medium and an XL, 30 on this one. Let me see, Air Max. We've seen this one on
Ooh,
the Flyknit. There's a lot of these on there.
25.
I know,
Trash.
75. Come on now. New Balance outlets, bringing the heat. Sneaker flip find.
Man, after I saw this, I actually went to a few New Balances outlet.
Anything good?
Nope.
Not like this. Look at that. So extra 30 on top, I believe, and sneaker flip find out there
Yeah, Secret Flip
dominating.
fine. That olive one's fire. If you have a 9 or 8.5.
This one right
That
here.
one, that one's clean right there.
Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see, Clive, Mark back at our live show after months. Lucky on three legs. Misinformation in hand. What's up? Let me see. Sunny, Hocus at Ross, 13. Grab another one that was 69 and ask for a girl to register if I can get both for 13. She said, sure.
Oh,
That's what I like. Price
just
match.
ask, right? Just ask.
Mendez Fines. Missed a couple of shows. Made it today. Good to see you. Mondo, Ross Burlington getting some nice shoes. Hardens. Let me see. I got an 8.5 and 9, says Snicker Flip Fine.
Hey, we might have to work something out.
There we go. All right, let me see. Kyler on the Murray jersey. Try Snicker Deal says nothing good this week. Even though we got some football slides, 15 Lions, Browns. Let me see. A lot of these McDonald's also showing up. 25 on these, on the Adidas. Ralph Lauren on the polo bag.
Ooh, That's
Jose
that's
Huzzles.
unique. That's unique.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. 150 retail. They have them at 80.
Oh, that's still high though. But some of those things are super trendy. So
Yeah, that's a
might
dope
sell for
backpack.
over
There we
retail.
go.
Oh, you got a bag and you got a blanket at the same time.
That's actually pretty fire. 50 on these.
Oh, the bag.
A lot of polo. There we go. Let me see. We're going to FlipCon. No, not that I
Not this year.
know. Not this year. I did hear a little bit about it, but I actually don't really know too much about it. Actually,
Mhm.
4Ds Broadway B in pink, and some of the Tech
Tech
Pack as
Fleet.
well. Army on the jersey. Jordan on the hoodie. So we got some different stuff showing up. Let me see. It looks like a lot of the Hardens, a lot of the Adidas. So Ja Hustler here on the D Rose, and then second. Oh, the cleats. There we go. Phantom. Let me see. Donovan Mitchell, and then we had these here. DB Fines, and a lot of the Donovan Mitchell as well. Some of the cleats. Let's see. I can't see what the chat says. O'Neal jersey about hour ago at Ross, baby blue and yellow. That's a clean one. I think someone also had that one on here. Lost finds on the Adapt with box and all. 2K20. That's crazy. 10 and a half. And they were at 60. You even got Jake to comment.
Oh, Jake's still there.
Jake's still there. Let's see. This one might be an old one, Windhorse. On his
Yeah,
Kobe's.
that might be money right now
I
already.
know, 55 at this point. What does that look like? You know what? Better sell them before they remake them again. Hey, they're returning
Like,
the Kobe line next month.
yeah, that's. I'm kind of excited about that because that means some of the Kobe's that I want to get would drop in price.
Exactly. All right, Slim Pickens, our boy, on the Jordan 1s, which I think for the most part, people have been finding big sizes and small sizes. Of course, the Dunks out there as well, and Ultra
That's the ones that
Boost.
I found, the Ultra Boost, the colorful one.
That black one in Volt's pretty dope, too. 25, I mean, 25, you can't go wrong.
Man, they probably have made so much. Cause like at 25, man, I'd rock an Ultra Boost for 25 if I'm down like that.
Yeah, exactly. Someone left their crusty threes for DB fines.
Mm,
How did that happen? I mean, there's still Jordans. Why would you still want to leave them behind? I mean,
right. Dude just don't know how to resell.
let's see. Eddie Things. There you go, reimagined. Still haven't seen any of them at my Ross, but
Reimagine's clean. I think that'd be
yeah.
classic.
Yeah, they're clean. I don't care what size they are.
Yeah.
60, take them. All right. Outlets. Sin City Hustle in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Full size run on here on the sevens.
Where's that OG heads at? Here you go. Y'all can have all of them.
Off white. Would you rock these?
No.
185, size 12.
Crazy enough, I actually haven't rocked any off white. Have you?
No, that's too rich
Yeah.
for my blood.
Yeah, we ain't high beast like that. That's what I say, but it's just too expensive too.
Let me see. T-Max. T-Mac 135, size 14. And then Nuggets jerseys, Mile High Hustle. Of course, only
Ooh,
makes sense.
those
where
are
he's
pretty
located.
clean. And nuggets, and like
Exactly.
that's actually nice when you find something for your city or your
Yeah.
area.
Let me see. Thompson Mutombo. Now, this one is dope. McCaffrey on the Elite
That's elite, huh?
325 retail. Look at that. Now, I know he's with the Niners now.
But he made his name there.
Yeah, exactly. I either way, I mean, an Elite for that price. Even the
Yeah.
former players on the Elites, people buy them, but at least he's a good player too. So you kind of like a win-win there. Let me see. Also got. Oh, this one's pretty nice too on the jacket. On the LA 130 retail, $30. And then
Man, Colorado's pretty good sourcing. Sounds
Look
like
at that. Yeah,
Out
look at those
Hustle coming
solds.
right up, huh?
Look at those solds.
Man,
And then the check out these pants. Did you rock these?
that's definitely a Colorado pants right there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would source in them. They look comfy.
Hey, there we go. Sold June 4th in this heat at
Right,
138.
right. And yeah, it's just gonna keep going up and up.
Yeah, exactly. Closer to Q4 time. Very nice. All right, let's see. More jerseys showing up. Tans finds. Marshalls on the Tomlinson. Interesting. Patrick Ewing. They did some weird kind of like
I know, what is
diamond.
that? Like it's like a saran wrap got left there or
Yeah,
something.
diamond collection thing or something. I don't know. Mile High been wearing them to bed on those polo pants. There we go, nice and comfy. More Patrick Ewing. This one in a blue. I did see this one out there. That Nike
The fruit basket.
pullover. Yeah, balanced meals. All right, man. There's just a ton. Small Jordans, Jose
Man, a
Hustles.
lot of finds. This is pretty
Yeah,
good. I mean, this lifts everybody's spirit up.
exactly. 97s also there in women's. Penny. Very nice. Clean on the Penny Hardaway, medium. There's the limited, which is the mid
Mm.
tier jersey, not the full elite. But very nice as well. Ultra Boost.
Ooh,
You like that little
drip.
yeah, little drip?
$25.
Was it 25? It should have been. I don't know, we can't see the tag, but probably.
And then another jacket.
Another jacket, same one that Mile High also found. And some of the Adidas. So let's go to
Uh,
the oh, there's a Shaq jersey.
mm.
Try sticker deals they were mentioning earlier. A different Shaq in purple. And tiny Jordans as well. I did see these out there in the wild. Let me see. But
Twist.
yeah, but man, babies just grow out of this quick. And I was looking at listings. A lot of them are like 90 plus, and there's only 3 sold. Probably because everyone's like sky high on the price, but
Yeah.
Ross has them at 35.
You see the triple white Presto? I didn't even see that in the bottom.
Where?
Go back to the kids.
Oh, right here. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't even know to
Presto.
make them that small.
That's fire on the Prestos. Pumas. Who else is coming out of here with heats? DFL finds. Let me see. Is this back?
Oh,
Is this back door?
no, not backdoor. That's loading dock right there. Loading dock vibes. Sheesh.
There we go.
Oh, with a challenger.
Yeah, very nice. Let me
Oh, he
see.
definitely owns the Ross.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. Yeah, Challenger on that one. Let me see. We also got Sneaker Flip Find. Man, these cleats are still out here.
Bro.
20.
No, that's remake though. That's
Oh, the
remake. Man.
remake
Yeah, you see
one.
the bottom is different, but the
Oh,
top's
that's
almost the same.
true. Those are nice though.
Yeah.
Let me see. Premiere. Man, the Premiere's a lot of them out there too.
Is that
30.
pro?
I don't know. I haven't even seen these out there, which people have been finding them, but I haven't seen them.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, these easy. Even the turf.
Yeah.
Man, good stuff out here. Sneaker Flip Fine. 20 on those, Tempos and Phantoms. So there we go. Dad owns a Ross, and that his older bro hooking it up. Rory Matt. Slim Pickens killing it. All right, let me see. This is a nice cart full too. A Train Hustle.
Oh, that's a variety pack right there.
Yeah, Dunk High, LeBron's, Pennies, Jordan. So 60, 820,
Ooh.
size 8.
And that's
Not
pretty
bad.
much like a free shoe right there.
Free brand new penny. Ultra Boost. Whoa, sorry. Oh, there's a smaller one. See, that's a kid size 4 at 50.
I won't pick those up.
So they've been finding the kids and the men's. Jordan in the gloves. Tackle on the gloves. More Jordan gloves at,
Oh, the
at
knit.
12. The knit.
$12.
$12.
Money.
Let's see. Even the Supreme socks
What?
and the Jordan gloves.
Yo, that Supreme sock. I'm pretty sure that comes in a pack.
Because I know Chi-Town also found one as well. Anybody else with the Supreme socks in the chat?
I think those are. A 4-pack.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been trying to find. I haven't seen
Wait,
any of
it's an
those out there.
SB. Oh no. Oh, they're talking about the dunk.
Oh,
I
the
think the
dunk.
Supreme socks comes in a pack of 4.
Hmm.
Dennis and Hypebeast, he said he's been sourcing, just looking for those Supreme socks.
Oh, okay. There we go. I've been looking for those socks every day. Oh, there we go. Oh, Mark, there you go. Tri-Stinger Deals is me. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
also found the Supreme socks. Remember that one? We looked at that one like 2 weeks ago. Ultra Boost, 3 more pairs at 25. I mean, 25. Up Tempo is also showing up.
That needs to be 25.
I don't know what the prices on these.
Dude,
But...
imagine if those are 25. I'm leaving this live right now. I'm like traveling. I'm traveling to Chicago and to Denver.
Yeah, definitely Denver. Mile High, he's got it out there. Let me see. You never even seen the Supreme fanny packs. Yeah, exactly. Me neither. Been looking for the
35 not
socks
bad.
as well.
35.
For what?
The up tempo.
Oh yeah, yeah. 35 is not bad. I don't know if it was men's or kids though. We didn't see.
GS.
Oh, okay.
$80.
$35.
$80. $75. $74. So it doesn't go to authentication.
Okay. D-Bay says don't drive to Chicago. Go to Louisville.
That's too close.
Let's see,
go
Mile
for it.
High. Man, with all this heat, I'm guessing the conclusion for tonight's show is that discount stores are fully back. Well, here's the thing though, is that with Ross and the way they're growing, that's what's gonna be our main topic today. So, let's see, the dogs are going crazy. Let me get this going. Let's see what our main topic is. All right. I want to talk about Ross, their growth, what's going on, and what can we learn from their business to implement into our business. So, they're talking about, of course, on the rise, talking about their stocks, talking about all of that. And so here's where the interesting things come from. Aiming for 2,900 stores. Let's start off with this.
How many do they have now?
Okay, so here we go. Looking ahead, we remain confident in our ability to grow to at least 2,900 Ross and 700 DD's discounts locations over time. They currently operate a total of 2,061 locations in 41 states. So they're looking at adding a good 800 plus stores.
Dude's trying to grow almost 30%.
Yeah, they're on fire right now. And they're just looking to, I mean, they're trying to make a, forget Spirit Halloween. Ross wants to move into every shopping center they can. And I told you guys too that we are getting, I think, 3 new Rosses in El Paso. We're getting a new Burlington next to one of our Rosses that's supposed to be pretty soon opening up. So they're growing at a rapid rate. So Florida about to get 700 more, I bet. Mile High. Let me see. Ross is in Hawaii to get deals still. Rory Matt. I have Ross stock and Burlington stock has been upswing as well. There we go, Broadway B. Ross has been bringing in great brands and having better prices here in Vegas, sunny. And so very nice there. Now, talking about the numbers, about them growing and things like that. Talk about their rivals, obviously TJX, which Marshalls and TJ Maxx, and Burlington. Now, here's where I wanted to talk about this. Business model. Oh. We're going to get B's take on this, the chat's take on this, and where they're headed, what they're doing. So, 3 discount clothing retailers have a business model that may be more reminiscent of Dollar General than Nordstrom. Here's what they mean. The average prices tend to be fairly low. In 2022, Ross gross profit margin was 24.5%. Now, do you think that was more or less what you kind of thought on the margins that they run?
but see, that's kind of misleading. Gross profit
And
margin, right? Like, what about you? Like your, I don't know what expense, right? When they're talking about that's not included there, but I I think that's about right considering that it's not net,
okay.
right?
It's
Worst case
interesting. We got two
scenario, they
back to back. Less Mile High, more Rory. For gross margin, says Mile High. Hmm.
that's I think so for a fast turn model. And you know, when you're talking about $1 billion in sales, I'd take 5%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's see. Nordstrom Rack is hit or miss, like their huge sales. They don't advertise their sales very much, though. Sunny. AN, that's a big margin. Mile High gross equals revenue minus cost of goods.
Right, but operational costs as far as the other overhead, it
Yeah.
might bite a lot out of that.
Hmm. So I thought that was interesting. Now it says, now their input, that's not bad for a company in the retail industry where profit margins tend to be lower than other types of businesses. You're like, compared to what? Restaurants?
No,
What other
restaurants
businesses are we
high.
comparing it to?
It's lower. Well, I guess if a retailer, right, like for example, like the first distributor, not the regular retailer, they're at 50% uh profit margin for 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 goods.
Hmm.
So like Finish Line and Nike would buy it from Nike half off.
Hmm.
So that's pretty high right there. But also they're dealing with retail.
Yeah. Select Goods, good to see you. Let me go back up. Broadway B says it makes me think about how cheap they're buying these goods from Mitchell and Ness, Nike, etc. Plus covering cost, as B just said. Now the Mitchell and Ness has to be dirt cheap. I mean, how are you selling shorts at $10? I mean,
Yeah, or it could be like, you know, a part of the contract that it's a giant buyout, right?
yeah.
Um, and it may be like they can't have it that way all the time.
Hmm.
Is it just, you know, is it just last year's inventory or the last 2 years inventory, and then there's gonna be not a lot moving forward?
Yeah. KC Flip and Fold. Okay, Mile High has a good comment. We're gonna get to that. So the next thing says, now Ross and other discount clothing retailers have limited marketing budgets, although Ross does run TV commercials and devotes resources to social media marketing. So, compared to Target or, well, Walmart does advertise too, but they probably don't really need to, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like you're
I
gonna
think
go to
they're just wasting
Walmart.
their money. It's like a generational store.
I mean, technically, social media, obviously this channel and other channels. I mean, you're going to Ross, you're maybe some things you never knew they had before. Now, keep in mind when Ross runs commercials and you hear Ludacris and Usher in the background, they're not like they can't show Nike products. They can't show
Right.
you know that they're gonna have Jordans
The
there.
brands, yeah, yeah.
A lot of the times they show like a nice happy family. They're wearing no name brand stuff.
Yeah.
They're just showing like, hey, if you find it at Ross, you're gonna get it because it's gonna be gone the next day. And it's a thrill of the hunt. They call it like the treasure hunt. And then if you find a nice brand there, it's like there's no guarantee. So that's the way they do that. And
I mean, you get to dress for less.
there you go.
That's the tagline. If you find something cool.
Mondo says everybody knows what Ross has. They don't need advertisements. But at one point, before Ross has gotten this big to getting so many stores, a lot of people didn't know what Ross had or what Ross was. And we know this because when I created the channel,
I
there
mean, I
wasn't very
didn't.
many Ross videos at all,
I
if
didn't.
at
I
all.
at all. Well,
But now at this point, I mean, they've just been on fire with everything that they're doing. Um, Now the next thing says Ross benefits from fast turnover of inventory,
mhm.
which reduces the amount of capital a retailer has parked in unsold merchandise on shelves. So, kind of like what Mile High said up top here,
Mm-hmm.
which the name of the game in retail is inventory turnover. Cash is the name of the game. Get in and get out. It's a model some resellers could learn from, says Mile High. Now, this is what I want to ask you. So, from these three statements, what could we learn not only about Ross, but I guess about our own businesses or maybe what you want to implement and how that makes sense as well? I feel like, see, the fast turnover of inventory, it's like you can make obviously less profits and keep trying to sell them. Let's say you're undercutting everybody on
Yeah.
everything. You're making less than the 20%. Let's say you're shooting for like 12%, but you're trying to turn over as much as you can. Or you have the capital and you're like, you know what? When this flood dies down, I'm ready to sell. Like, let's say Windhorse had those Kobe's now.
Right.
Or stuff from last year that you're like, I'm not even going to list this stuff because I know I can get top dollar for this when there's down to a couple listings.
Right.
What do you think?
I think to build capital, you gotta move product fast. Um, I think that's pretty much what I did solely to grow our eBay store in the beginning. But I think there comes a point where obviously a lot of it is supply issue. Like our model has a supply issue. Because Ross, I mean, they got the supply figured out. I think if you have the supply figured out, I don't care if you're making 5%, your goal is to grow that supply and that output faster,
Hmm.
like the turnover faster because there's supply. And obviously they have pretty much owned the past season item supply next to the brand outlet. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
unless we're comparing things to Nike outlet or Adidas outlet, they control the supply. So technically, once I think once they've locked in a certain contract of they're buying all the liquidation or the shelf pool, I don't think it's a problem. And I think that's one of the things where if I was in a category where I can have easily access to inventory, I mean, you guys have seen me run my whatnot shows as far as the clothing and hoodies. I was just learning. I mean, same thing as what you've done with hats. You've just learning because you have constant supply. But the other thing is what we don't consider is like if we depend on Ross and we're only pulling 5 to 10 items per store, then we have a supply issue. I don't think it's smart to sell quick. I mean, it is one way to make money selling quick, but I think eventually you'll run out of supply, and that's gonna become an issue. Now you probably could have made 20% more if you slow down your output. So that's
Hmm.
just my take. But if I had the supply lined up, and if I was in an area where I had more store, I would definitely crank up the velocity.
Let's see what the chat says. Chat, what do you think about B's statement on that? Let me see. Sneaker flip fine. You can only quick flip if you know you can keep getting the supply.
Mm-hmm.
If Footlocker, Armand says, if Footlocker is around average gross profit of 30%, it is crazy to think why Ross would be that high.
No, I think Foot Lockers are at 50.
You think Footlocker's at 50%?
Yeah, yeah, from brands. I mean, at least knowing I think they even have better pricing than the regular Nike accounts.
Hmm. True, my last year's finds are selling now, says Danny. So that's
Mhm.
mostly, see, that's like the off-season patient game on holding those. But also keep in mind, like, we haven't had this many.
Right,
I
available
guess,
supply.
yeah, the supply has definitely been cranked up, right? I mean,
Yeah, if we
everyone would
were at
agree right
last
now.
year, if we were at last year's position and you were selling it as fast, you won't have a lot of inventory to sit on.
Yeah. So, let's see. Broadway B, didn't Renzi promote their around that 20-25% profit, but their volume is now through the roof since switching to new shoes. Um, but I think also comes into play probably with with Whatnot and be able to turn over that fast.
Yeah.
Um, but I also think if you're doing the eBay game though, eBay is kind of interesting because even if you did want it to turn over fast, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to. I
Right.
mean, you could be the lowest out of all of them listed there.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's gonna sell.
That's true. Well, given the fact that we're talking about past season items,
Yeah,
right? Brand new past season items in the sporting goods category. Now, if we're talking Panda Dunks or new age drops and release, it'll turn fast.
yeah,
But your profits definitely gonna be sub 10% at this day in economy.
yeah. Now on the whatnot side, I mean, like we have always said, you can have a 100% sell through rate. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll have your whole inventory gone that same day if you wanted to.
Right.
Start off at a
It,
dollar,
it'll be
but I'm not
gone.
guaranteeing what kind of profits you're gonna
It'll be gone quick. The
have.
problem is in that game you get caught as you become a worker to your own machine.
mm,
I mean we've played it, right? Like there are times that actually you have to slow down and quit selling because if you don't, you gotta sleep, you gotta pack, you gotta source. Now, given the fact that you can build infrastructure as far as shipping, sourcing, and everything like that, when you do it like that, I mean Renzi is pretty open. I think they've had shipping team or sourcing team.
mm,
That's added cost. I mean nobody's gonna become part of the team for free. I
mm,
think that's why like the husband and wife is like a free team.
mm-hmm.
But I think next going over that, now you have a you have a process. You have to have a different overhead cost.
Mm,
Also too, if you're taking lower profit, you gotta turn so much faster.
yeah.
Now, are you in a position where you can turn right, or do you have the time to get that faster? And also, again, it's supply. Like you have to rip through stores to get supply.
Let me go back up. There's some good comments coming in here. Walter, I agree with B. It's 100% a supply issue because I won't be able to find the same thing over and over. Clive says maximizing profit is what the top businesses do. I agree with B. Mile High, Champs Foot Locker get people with the sneakers but make big margin on everything else. Socks, hats, clothing. Intramore, back in my day, or back in the day, Foot Locker employees used to get 40% off their discount. It would be hard to believe they'd be doing that if their average gross profits was only 30%. Armand, you're probably right. That makes more sense. I'm just going with the public report on the internet about being intramorph. Rory, I feel like I can see a desperate reseller and I watch them drop that price and then I lowball.
Yeah.
Sneaker flip, find big lesson in do your research. Some products should be quick flipped and some should be held.
Yeah, I think that's a smart. I mean, even up to this point, I'm marking stuff down that have been sitting for the longest in my store, and then learn the lesson from there. It's like, okay, if this is the threshold of how it's moving, for example, like my Converses, it's like I thought it was gonna move faster, and then now I'm literally cutting to like 10% profit or even break even. But knowing that experience, you grow from it, kind of like everything else. There are just certain we say like, oh, Ultra Boost definitely at 25 because you definitely shouldn't be picking Ultra Boost when they were $80.
Mm,
But at 25, any Ultra Boost will work because somebody's gonna be willing to pay $60, $70 for those, given that they're retail 160. So I think it's just, and I think you would miss those opportunities if you don't learn from your past experiences. That's why it's very important to, have that catalog of knowledge over time.
mm. Well, let's say Ross on their fast turnover of inventory. Now, we know what their process looks like, right? Let's say that Air Max Plus that we saw earlier, it was $75.
Mhm.
They're going to put that Air Max Plus up there 75. Now, then after that, they're going to do a markdown. The next markdown will probably be around 39
49,
to
39.
49. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. 39 to 49. Then it's another markdown after that if it's still sitting there. Now we've seen this with like the big 18, 19
Yeah.
sizes. But if something is also really overpriced, like they had Vapor Max at one point was like those $99 or $89
Yeah.
ones. they're gonna slowly mark them down. Now, if someone wanted to do that on their own eBay store, I mean, would that make sense or not? And for me, I would say probably not, just because I mean, unless your turnover was going to be like a 3 month process, like you have you know what, 90 days, and this has got to go out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if you maybe didn't have the space or something, but
Yeah.
that I'd still think that it would be really tough to do,
I think
considering. Go ahead.
I think 3 to 6 months. What do you think about? I think once it hits its third month, you start evaluating it, and then you could start doing the Ross, you know, strategy. I mean, I think at a point where I'm at, I want to have like a 6 month like leeway. Six
Mm,
months is pretty comfortable, given the fact that things change, right? For example, like right now, if I was patient last year, I didn't source a lot. Definitely, I had enough inventory to last a year. And then now, if you were smart enough to that you kept all your stash and your cash flow, now you have all the opportunities to go out there.
mm,
Because if you're trying to like quick flip it so much, you were like, again, it was just like you're working so hard 100%, and then now there's more, you can't crank out more effort.
yeah.
I think you run out of time, right? Like, okay, if I'm
Or
saying,
you'll
okay,
burn yourself out, I
yeah,
think.
and that's the biggest thing in this industry. I mean, we've done this for 7 years, man. I mean, even our live show. I mean, imagine if me and Glenn did live show every day.
I mean, even well, that's the reason why Ross's margin or Ross's, I guess their industry and what their process doesn't work for a reseller because, like you said too,
Steady
they
supply, yeah,
already know they're gonna get inventory coming
yeah,
in. You don't.
yeah,
I mean, you're hoping that they're gonna get some stuff and that you're
yeah,
gonna compete with the other resellers to find that amount of inventory. But them as a store with whatever contracts they have, it's already guaranteed that next day, next week, next month, Ross already knows they're going to have inventory no matter
yeah,
what.
yeah,
Even if it is Puma and
yeah.
RBX and
It'll be,
no
yeah,
Nike, they're going to have inventory because we
yeah,
saw that last year. That's all
hmm,
it was.
yeah,
Full Puma, full RBX.
hmm,
Um, Let me go back. Let me see. There's comments in here we need to read. Danny, 6 weeks per markdown at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. So there we go.
hmm,
Let me see. Agree. Quick flip is exhausting, Danny. I mean, it is a never-ending cycle in a way.
yeah,
Nike is the same way. They have to mark down because they have supply coming in. They have to make room, and the train keeps going. There we go.
yeah.
Sneaker flip
They
five.
they do that. They 100%. I know that for a fact. I mean, from speaking to managers, it's like I got two trucks coming in. We gotta move. Next thing you know, the green sticker markdown happens. So that's when they start being super friendly.
I'm just using the moment of available RA inventory to plow most of my profit into more inventory. Don't know when the next drought will hit. As a part timer, I don't need to pay myself mile high.
I think that's the the sweet spot of reselling. Um,
The
I
part
would say
timer?
like the part timer. I mean, technically he's a part timer because he has a job. He
Yeah,
has a main job, right?
yeah.
I would say like it's like a supplemental income or a different business that you don't have to live off of. I guess whether you're part time or full time, it's an entity of business that you don't have to get paid by, which exponentially your growth is gonna be massive. Mile High, Sneakers Envy, when
Mm,
you can control your work time compared to your other business, when you just keep pouring your profits, I think that's it. I
yeah,
think you could, and there's no expiration date, right? Like we're not selling any perishable, and I think what 70% chance of your product, the longer you hold, the higher the value goes.
mm. Well, especially the off-season stuff. Like we know that when things aren't
Yeah,
accessible, that's when it sells the highest.
yeah, like jackets, right? Like picking up jackets on summertime, and then
Because they're
picking up
like,
shorts on wintertime. Like that right there. If you understand that, and then it's just it just cycling it back. I think that right there, you could really build up a pretty good retirement plan after that one.
let me see. Intramorph is like a day trading stock account for me. There we go.
Mm.
So Danny sneaker flip find, also on the same page as not having that. I'll see if they go. I feel no pressure from what the side hustle brings. Allows me to hold.
Hmm.
So you don't have that. Oh, I must do this. I must do that. Being the full timer. Let me go back and see. Let me see. Allows me to source still on company dime. Sneaker flip. There we go.
Hey, that's the real hustle right there.
Let me see. Mile High. Do you think any new discount chains start up?
Ken and B store. Ken and Glen store.
I think. Oh man, honestly, I would say not at the
They
moment. I
shouldn't.
just
They should just put their money with Ross stock.
Yeah, I feel like Ross Marshalls, even though they have so many years built up into this, they have definitely found a name and a system that is unbeatable right now. I feel like if someone wanted to try something like that, it would turn into one of those like
DDs.
bin store type of things to where they try to copy the model but still don't really know the logistics of it
Oh,
all
like
because
Ollie's. Ollie's.
hmm,
Have you heard of Ollie's?
Ollie's. I have heard, but I don't know what it is. Is
It's pretty
it very
much what's the other one where we were finding New Balance? What's the other one? I think that's Ollie's.
Gabe's?
Gabe's. It's like that. It's like that.
Mm.
Ollie's is like Gabe's.
Well, because if you want to, I guess in that same realm, like Tuesday Morning was also one of those stores to where it was like off chain store and they closed. They closed
Mhm.
all locations. And so, even for them that have been around for a while, they didn't last. So, whatever system Ross has going on, their growth is right up there. According to this too, which we didn't talk about that, but if you want to see, I think we kind of already knew, considering as the reseller that we are and going through all these. Um, so obviously TJ Maxx Marshalls is the highest or largest market, 98.1 billion.
And
Target comes in at 62, Ross at 38, Burlington at
you,
11.
you know what the crazy part is? At TJ Maxx, I think because of their ASP, they're higher. I don't think they
Hmm.
move more products or they have more store. I just think they have more expensive items. Would you agree? Chat, would you agree?
Well, definitely when they throw in home goods.
Yeah, right? Like and then even the TJ Maxx, they have like $80, expensive stuff there.
Hmm. True.
Oh, Sierra is I think Sierra is part of it. Yeah,
Sierra is
Sierra
part of
Trading Post.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of the higher end. I think they're like the higher ASP business than the Ross. But over
Yeah.
time, they just had a really big head start. I think you don't you think it's a slow growth for them?
The TJ Maxx?
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're not even trying to like rush into shopping centers the way Ross
yeah,
and Burlington are.
yeah.
Ross and Burlington are like
That's what I thought. Like Ross and Burlington is like the resellers, right? The TJX brand is like the traditional.
Intramore says agreed. There's no way TJX is moving more volume than Target.
Yeah.
Let me see. And Home Sense also part of TJ Maxx. Depends on the runway category, which where to find TJ Maxx.
Yeah, and I think
Um,
there's at least two or three runways in each major city. That runway alone probably is a runway TJ Maxx probably worth two TJ Maxx or three
hmm,
because you have $800 sneakers, $800 bags,
yeah.
$1,000 things like
Mile High. The one thing that has to be a major challenge for these stores is shrinkage. He says, "Get your head out of the gutter." Um, Theft in retail terms, stores are now running to loss prevention people at a time.
mm,
what do you think about, I guess, returns and things like that, or
I think you have
theft,
to.
or
I think you have to account for it again. Whatever that is. I mean, even us resellers, what we have like what 3 to 5%, 3 to 6% return rate. I
mm,
mean, technically, you don't have to worry about it. You can write that off as a loss and don't cycle it through. You could technically donate all of that and write it off, which I think a lot of these stores are. If they're not, efficient enough, they're not gonna put it back in the rack. They'll just put it on a pallet, and it could be either junk. I mean, a lot of stores just throw it away, or kind of like Amazon, right? Amazon returns. That's why there's pallet hauls available.
yeah.
They don't even. I think for them, because they can write it as a loss. They can just. It's easier to not process it. Probably cheaper to just get rid of it.
Mm. So, I mean, very interesting on that article part as far as like how Ross is growing, and I mean, hey, it's better if you're still in the reselling game, you're still into it, and you see what they're doing. I mean, let's see where they go from here. But there's so much opportunity as they grow, and if you grow, you're staying with it as well. Let me see. There's jobbers out there that literally buy out retailers at super dirt cheap sticker flip find.
Mhm.
Let me see. Hit that like button. Appreciate that retrospective. Great conversation. Appreciate that. Now this one's gonna be off. B doesn't even know. I wanted to talk about some random stuff that rarely do I, without a game plan, just
He
rant
has
about
you
stuff.
have an awakening or something like that.
No, I don't. I guess because like, look. So me and B have been going back and forth on ideas when it comes to content and reselling and things like that. Even last time we ended the show with saying how there's a lot of like YouTube entertainment rather than maybe reselling advice and things like that. And so me and B, we do have very important trip coming up next month, that we need to figure out a lot of things with. Wait, do we say where we're going? Or we don't
With
say where.
yeah, HQ, yeah, HQ, eBay
Okay, we're
HQ,
going to
yeah.
eBay headquarters. We have a very important things we got to figure out until then. And also just giving the feedback too from you guys have been telling us as far as like eBay and where to go from there. And I think there's a big community part too that is kind of missing there when it comes to like sellers in general and building and helping each other rather than kind of like there's the entertainment factor and then there's like a thrifting and then there's thrifters with and then the retail arb and things like that. So that's a thing that's kind of like a little iffy there, on where to go. Now the reason why I say this is because my channel I feel is kind of boxed in with like the Ross and the store and the retail stuff, which Thrill of the Hunt is always there. Like that's never gonna go away. I'm fine with that. But the moment I add reselling type of content or even this live show, they're kind of just like hidden in there. It's like YouTube's like, hey,
It doesn't get traffic.
there's no traffic, there's no nothing there. Nike outlet video, here's 92K views. But it's like, all right, I guess it's fun, it's entertainment side of it, but this is not really helping from a reselling point of view.
Hmm.
So I would like to do like a podcast type of thing with B on its own channel and try to build it up from scratch and give like more valuable information rather than just, you know, the in-store finds and try
Right.
to mix in-store finds with reselling.
Right.
I don't know. They're not really seen together, and I don't know why or what's how to look at that.
Hmm.
So today I received an email notification for your live. That's random. There you go. Hype Beast Poppy. Very nice. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best way podcast wise or reselling value that you guys would like to see.
Or
I
do you
mean,
guys even listen to a reselling podcast? If you guys do, like, drop it down below.
do you listen to reselling podcasts? Do you
Yeah.
what kind of value in, I guess not even entertainment but value is there from a reselling point of view that's also not just necessarily thrown onto a certain market as far as like thrifting and bins, and then retail arb, and there's, I guess when I talk to B, I would like to see and do something that has to do with reselling in general. Like, because a lot of the same factors, and you can implement a lot of these things into your business, is not necessarily all thrown onto, like, at some point it was just like clothing sellers, out all the time. But I don't know. It's the weird mix right now,
I
and kind of
think
where to go from there.
I think my idea of it is like, especially with kind of like the things that I've done already. Um, I think we give a very sound business advice, and with our experience, our education combined, I personally just don't want to be boxed in as a sneaker seller,
Mm,
because I think there are a lot of principle in what we have done that are very helpful in different category, and I think it's been proven and tested based on just the different events that I get invited to. Like List Perfectly, like that wasn't a sneaker event. Boss Seller Remix, those are not a sneaker event. um and I think what we want to accomplish is like have a more central uh information and create a go-to for an e-commerce specific business on how to create it and how to grow it. Talk about different platforms. That's kind of like my idea. Those are the things that me and Glenn just throw at each other every now and then. So if you guys are, have any ideas, I think we'd listen that. I mean, somebody said TikTok quick clips. That will be something that will be rip off of the podcast. So when we're doing this, technically we could capture this moments and create TikTok clips. But the way we process things now, it's not designed to do that.
like in Three Legs Pure Hustle podcast, which we talked about, and when me and B talked, he met um uh Trash to
Trash to
Cash,
cash, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So they have a podcast. We know Chris has one. We know so Pure Hustle. We know those are the
yeah.
three. Um and I don't know, it seems like all three kind of offer, I guess, like different things. I guess because a lot of the times when we talk about the Chris one, a lot of people they have a feedback of like, well, most of it has to do with like a clothing centered kind
Mhm.
of thing, because
Right.
that's really what they kind of focus on. Now there's a lot of implement you can do. um I haven't listened to the Trash to
Trash to cash.
Cash. I haven't listened, so I really don't know. Pure Hustle, I think I listened to when we first met them, but that was already probably like what 3 4 years ago. I think that we.
Mhm.
So Mile High, there are a lot of reselling podcasts. May be hard to differentiate. You are the YouTube selling reselling OG though. Why not post your pod to YouTube second channel? Which that's what
Mhm.
we would like to do.
Mhm.
And maybe more alerts could go out that way as well, instead of just
Right.
like another Ross video, and then may or may not get the live show
Yeah.
Wednesday alert or not.
Yeah,
In
and
this
also
case,
too.
this one channel, you should get the alerts for
Right.
everything.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we cannot really share openly, I guess, because it gets lost in the mix, is like the journey side. I think a lot of people like the journey or interview. If we put it here, technically we would only have one or the other, right? We have an interview or a like a pod like a live like this. So that would kind of like eliminate a consistency, right? Now if we bring in more guests, now all of a sudden we can't really talk about fines or what's current. We can discuss topics like this. So if we're set up as a podcast, it would be like a hub for reselling education or e-commerce education, that we can bring in different point of view, which obviously I think that's a great idea, bringing in different sellers that are prominent in the industry that we can talk about, because we're learning from each other once a week, but I think there's so much to be learned from other categories as well. What are their struggles? And also a lot of times we make realize like our problem is actually not a real problem. It's just kind of like slow right now, because there are other categories that are facing real problems. So I think perspective, it would give us a better perspective. I think the way we talk is so niche down, which is okay. but I think we just need to have different, broader perspective as well.
Let me go back up. Girl on Fire, I appreciate that. I enjoy you because you guys keep the finds and keep me motivated. Thank you. Let me see. Have more guests on your show showing their success and shortcomings. Either way, I'll be here to support in the channel. Appreciate that, Swoop Man. Someone else also said with the guests, which I definitely want to do that too. I like hearing other people's stories and not necessarily just from a retail ARB side,
Hmm.
but if they're doing thrifting, they're doing bin, they're doing anything but selling online. I think I want to hear their story.
Oh,
Retrospective here, we definitely need
Rory said
retrospective
set up
here.
like a complex podcast.
Oh, okay. I like
That's
that idea
that's
too.
that's a good take. I like that. I like that take. That's crazy that we actually haven't spit that out, because we said something about valuetainment.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree? Like a
And
valuetainment style?
and here's the thing though, there's another person that we know of that I met her and B's been in contact with her and her store is 10,000 plus listings.
Yeah.
And she brings a psychology background from not only
A practicing. She has
yeah,
she had a
exactly.
practice of psychology.
And she's really interesting and a great person. I would like to get her involved somehow as well, just from a totally different. I mean, the store is massive, but there's also a lot of changes and struggles that she has gone through, and things that she doesn't even like about the store right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, so that's really interesting too, and I like the guest point of view. I like Mile has said too, main channel finds, second channel like a podcast more business oriented, and I think that would fulfill me on the business side wise. Like I've gotten this, the storage units. I've
Yeah.
changed my name and banner stuff on my eBay store. I've gotten different supply now. Not everything's from the
Mm-hmm.
Ross and things like that. There's a lot of different business point, and then adding, of course, we did Whatnot. How does that implement and go
Right.
into your business? So there's a lot of things that haven't really talked about, and Wednesday's kind of like our only somewhat outlet. But we also talk about the fines and things like that. But what I would like to get deeper into the business side of things,
Right.
because I
Because
feel
I
like we
think,
have our experience to help people.
yeah, I think the fines could be a one segment, or a real podcast, just fines, talking about the current fines. I mean, we could do it. I do like the comments that someone should do a traveling podcast that moves with sneaker cons,
Mm,
thrift con, or major a con like that. I think that
mm,
would be cool, and that way we would be really embedded into a different industry.
yeah, no, I like that. I mean, any ideas, we're welcome to it. I kind of feel like I am in like a little rut trying to figure out what to do, and until you start doing it,
Yeah.
you got to make things happen. So here's my idea though: was yeah, second channel on the business thing, and the first channel being this one. I would I would gladly crank out section by section videos if you wanted me to. Men's activewear Monday, and then shoes on. I could definitely do that. I've already been doing this for a long time. I think it's just gotten stuck in my head as well though, is where you get to this thing to where, because of what what YouTube wants, it's like, oh, I gotta get a dunk for this thumbnail. I gotta find this LeBron for this thumbnail, this Jordan for this thumbnail. It has to be a banger find. But in reality, I think that if I get it out of my own head, I'm just like, if it's just like we're just gonna hit the store, I'm just gonna focus one full video on activewear. We find something, we don't find anything. It is what it is, but we're out there on the prowl.
Hmm.
We're here to find something. We might not, but at least I don't have that, I guess, like YouTube wanting that pressure of like, you must find something that's gonna sell high. It's
Right.
like, I may or may not, I don't know. So that's kind of like where I'm at as far as like the YouTube side, and I guess the business side, and what I think we could help people with. And also community side, like eBay, like how are they going to bring people together? What do they want to do to bring people together
Mhm.
from a community side? And that's what we want to find out when we go next month. I feel like there's a lot there that can be done, and
Right.
bringing resellers together in whatever niche
Yeah.
you're in.
Yeah, and I think too, like one of the things that I see in the bigger picture, right? If we take this to the next level, obviously, which we always do, we try to give our 100% effort. I think overall, as the impact of making connection within platforms, I think it would solidify that we are for the community, and we could levy any issues up faster, or even create a change quicker. I think that's one of the things that they appreciate from us already. But if we lean on more to that, which is, like, yes, we're doing it for content and a different business side or a strategy. But I think overall, yes, we're probably gonna have to get some sponsors. We're probably gonna have some get some supporters to get this to a next level where it makes sense, right? I think one of the main reasons why me being hesitant about doing YouTube is like, does it make sense for me to do 4 or 5 hours of YouTube? Does the revenue come back? And for me, I haven't resolved that in me. That's why I don't have a YouTube channel. And that's why Glenn, like, he wants for him, he understands YouTube better, that why is this content not getting more views, obviously, which translates to AdSense and everything like that, when there are other nonsense there of entertainment that doesn't really build your business, that makes money, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's what we're trying to figure out. And also too is like, we want this to be a staple in the community, not just in the sneaker or the Ross Finds box. We want it to open up bigger.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. I want to, if you're a successful seller, or maybe you're not a successful seller, why or why not, and what do you sell? What do you focus on? Where do you source,
Right.
and what do you do? I think it's super interesting in how it relates to selling on eBay. Let me see. Interview with sellers, different cities. Also, I like that, Danny. Let me see. Impromptu. There we go. Unscripted sourcing from Hustler Hacks. Speaking of eBay, notice some of our clothing has authentication guarantee.
Correct. So they have lunch streetwear already for authenticity guarantee. Clive said Patreon. I'd happy to pay. We've looked into that as well.
Yeah, we've looked into that as well, but it comes down to the value more than anything,
Yeah.
because what what is there that we've experienced that we know we can help people and drive the numbers. When we did level up, there was different motivation there that you want to show up, next week with your numbers up. And it
Mhm.
was kind of like a different push to where, like, like, I want to show Ken that I'm doing well. I want to show Glenn that I'm doing well. And I did like that too, to see it's kind of like that extra push to get that done. Um, and so I don't know. There's different ideas out there. Let me see. Mamba mentality. They go, you have all that already. Awesome formula already. Armand, appreciate that. Mile high minute. 60 seconds. What? Giving his thoughts for the week. There we go. Look on three legs. Um, Let me see. I see a guy at the post office with an interesting business model. His hustle is Ross and post office all on a bicycle. Uses USPS supplies and labels. Simple model.
Yeah.
There we go. See, this is the stuff we need to be interviewing. Just having some noise while listing helps. Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think it's positive reinforcement, right?
yeah.
Like when your road trips and stuff like that, I'd rather listen to, books. Like I just drove to DC over the weekend, and that was what, 7 hours, and
Mm.
I was just filled with books. And I feel like I'm thinking better. I have a different and better perspective. So I think that would be something cool. I mean, different segments. Definitely, we can be really creative. Mile High would probably need more than 59 seconds. So, um, but maybe it could be a book club. It could be because me and Glenn, like every now and then we do a book club, but with each other, and we discuss books. So maybe it's something that we all discuss together, and we all are on the same page. So now all of a sudden, now we're actually encouraging everybody to learn, not just us. So I think that would be something cool, and that could be like a very podcast style.
We also need some parent guests, some
Sam?
some parent guests, reseller
Parent,
parents
yeah,
that
parenting tips. We got a few. We got a few.
we got some parent resellers that I think don't get enough love in the market. They don't get taught a lot of interest and stuff because you got to balance everything. But let's
Mm-hmm.
hear it. How do you do it? It's not easy. So I like to hear what people do on that as well. I do it all on my bike, but I need a little kid caboose trailer, especially for the Nike outlet. There we go. Let me see. Since hustling is all about looking to be financially independent, you could talk about investing and other ways to make your money grow. There we go.
That's good. We can get some guests on that one.
Slim Pickens, amen, laugh out loud. And I guess, some of the experiences, um, like paying off the student loans, I think was really important. And that's something I still want to help in some sort of way. Like, who knows? Maybe some of the guests have like financial issues into like debt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mentioned it before too. Like, with the student loans, I don't know anything. Cars, I don't know anything. If my interest rate wasn't so low on this house, I wouldn't pay it off so fast either. Everything else is done for. So I must be doing something right on this reselling journey that I've been up to. I know I'm an easy target having a channel. People have sent me all sorts of things. How I'm a low baller. I don't know this. I don't know that. Well, I have to
Yeah.
be doing something right.
Right.
But I want to help in a certain way if you're in that sort of weird financial thing. And now being a parent kind of helps me also take that on as a new challenge.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm still learning from Glenn financially. I mean, I live like a bachelor, me and my wife, and we just spend and spend. So, Steve, what do you think about Steve Steak?
let me see. I feel like you guys have grown apart. Both have gone in different direction. Glenn still focuses on store finds, and B is more convention focused. Ever thought of both going solo? So
Well, let
me
me
and
let me ask you this:
oh
Have we grown apart?
well, I think that we have different goals,
Mhm.
but I don't. But not in a business point of view. I think that still remains the same. Now,
Yeah.
content point of view, I've had conversations with B all the time because B said, I want to make more content. I want to, and I'm all for it. But here's the thing, though. Number one, when does content pay bills?
Right.
Right? You can put out as much free content as anybody wants. This goes for everybody else in the chat. You can
Yeah.
put out content. You can work hard at that content part. We just don't know at one point it's gonna pay bills because you need to live. Like period.
Right.
You gotta figure out a way to pay the bills. Reselling is still gonna do that, but you're taking that time from the business
Time
part
invested. Yeah.
exactly into the content, and the content might be something that you have that heart into it that you want to get done.
Hmm.
If you have a passion for it and you want to do it,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like go for it, but just know the struggle that comes with that too. And that's where I think a lot of people try to you see someone try to do something and then it's gone, right?
Right.
Like they're not consistent with it because yeah, it is tough. There we go. Cool Kicks knows
Hmm.
it is tough.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, the B content that I know that he can do would kill, but how much time and effort goes into that? If he went deep into like, of
Mhm.
course, the business talk, the things that he's learned, and the things that he's learned ever since being here in the U.S.
Mhm.
would be ginormous.
Right.
But as of right now, we know that like on the Instagram side and things like that, it's like the sneaker thing, the sneaker stuff that we also know that IG might be there for. But when it's straight business talk, I know B can kill it in that side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my take on that, I think visually we've grown apart because we're doing two different things, and I mean we still talk the same way we've talked, and I
Yeah.
think we've just pitched more ideas than ever. Um, I think we've just there's just been different opportunities that have been thrown in, right? Like, would you agree? Like there's opportunities for bulk buy for Glenn. Those opportunities weren't given to me,
Mm,
so he took that, and then I've had the opportunity to travel. I took
mm,
that, like he didn't have that. So I think it was a good kind of like thing to do differently because we both learned from it differently, and then we share the knowledge. So I think, like, like on this podcast you're getting two brains, and we've actually covered a lot more experience in short amount of time, because if we did everything together, either we'd be traveling right now or we'd be bulk buying.
Mm,
But we did it both in a year. So I think those are a pretty good concept. But yeah, he is right. Like, when does content turn into livable, uh, um, livable profit or livable income? Um, I'm gonna tell you, based on the what last 12 months, I'm halfway there. So I see the potential. I see the projects that can happen, but again, it needs more time and effort.
yeah.
But I cannot. You cannot just say like, I'm gonna stop reselling. I still resell because we don't want to be the ones telling you it's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you how to make $500,000 in 1 year, but I only have 250 listings.
Yeah.
We don't want to be that. We still want to have a healthy, but obviously we're not trying to build a $1 million store at the same time doing this, because it's impossible to do it at the same time. If the million
Yeah.
dollar store happens while we're building this and focusing on this one, great. If it doesn't, we'll do it on the next round.
It's extremely difficult to
Oh,
do both. And
yeah.
there was the time where, I mean, you guys know from the Merch by Amazon side, I was doing a lot of the t-shirt designing, making money on the Amazon part. I still make money on the Amazon part, but I wasn't actively doing it, even though I still had a podcast talking about it.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew I had to quit, because I was like, I'm not actively doing this. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to try to help other people if you're not doing it. And that's where it was kind of like, all right, move on to something else. You're doing something else. How can you give the best, information if you're not actively doing it? Mile high, a healthy question to ask yourself is, what will I stop so that I can start this other thing? It's sometimes tougher to quit something than to begin something new. Now that's a good question too. So what would I
That's true.
stop? Number one, at what point I was doing when I guess came back to Whatnot, I started doing 4 shows a week.
Mhm.
Then it's down to 3. Now it's gonna be down to 2, and maybe eventually just be down to 1. So that will
Mhm.
definitely go down. Um, Honestly, this Wednesday show will probably go down. I know people don't want to hear that answer, but this is
But
prime.
we'll shift it. We'll shift
We
it.
would shift it to something else, but
Yeah.
honestly, this is prime daughter time that
Mhm.
I could be doing rather than doing this on a Wednesday. I love the Wednesdays, but I know that that also has to change. That just comes from a family standpoint, though, not even from the projects that I want to work on. And everything else, I think I've been pretty good as far as time and where I know I could move things going forward.
Yep.
Let me see.
Yeah, cool. I need to stop being a perfectionist. I think I think it's just evolving on the craft, and over time we're gonna get better. I think I've held a DSLR camera for a year now. So I think I'm getting better at like submitting projects. Where I would spend a day on sending a project before, today I was so proud we did it in 4 hours. We
Hmm.
submitted 3 projects in 3 hours. So hopefully it's gonna get less and less. Kind of like what Glenn does when he's doing editing. Now he's down to a lower time in editing.
Let me see. Busy podcast sponsored by Ross. There we go, Ross. Any of that Ross sponsor. They don't do much marketing though, as we clearly
Right.
saw. They're like, we're not paying for nothing. People come to our store, no matter what. Let me see. Me and B going our separate ways, get a million views, and come back together like Jordan and Pippen. Oh, there we go.
Dude, that's hard.
That's hard. Anything in the chat that you want to see from a reselling point of view? Besides the, I mean, we know guests, um, obviously the different niches coming into one, more of a maybe some general business as well.
Like
We talk
financial
we
I
talk
guess.
about the debts, the financial side of things, as well. Um, have you guys thought about AI maybe able to help reselling? That's probably actually a good topic, maybe on its own,
Yeah,
too,
I
because
think on the content creation, it's helped a lot.
yeah,
Like, surprisingly, I've used more AI in the last 2 months on content creation than anything else.
hmm.
So, how to pay
uh,
yourself.
that's a good, that's a good.
Yeah, you can have Glenn's perspective and my perspective.
The date of purchase and price and date you sold, and probably the profit out of that and things
Yeah.
like that. Those videos
Yeah.
are also, man, that's the thing I hate too. Is like those are valuable information that would
Yeah.
definitely help sellers. That's not entertaining in
Hmm.
YouTube's eyes, but would definitely help from a reseller standpoint. 100%.
Yeah.
Live
Armin said.
sourcing every now and then.
Armin said like I want to see a breakdown on the best of your ability, how you grew from zero.
That's that too.
We that could be a project. Me and Glenn actually talked about it, creating an eBay store, and growing it,
Yeah,
and reinvesting everything back to it. Next thing you know, that might be the $1 million store.
yeah. You never know. I
Um,
mean, you got to try stuff and see.
yeah,
I
and
like seeing
also
things grow from nothing. I mean,
yeah,
what are the
I love
struggles you
that.
go through?
Boss. He said, my house said shrinkage, and you like things growing from nothing.
Let's see. What was the other one that we were?
Girl
Let's see.
on
Oh, I
fire
like
said,
that.
"What is B doing now?"
That's a good. I like that question. What is B doing now? Tell him.
so, so what I'm doing now is I'm reselling, but I'm reselling half of what I used to do last year, as far as revenue wise. Um, travel, I've traveling less. Um, but I've this year was the first year that I have locked in contract as far as content creation. Like brands would pay me, hey B, create a video for our ads and we'll run it as ads. So this year is the first time I'm getting paid for that. Um, um, so this was kind of like the turnover of like getting to that one step. Hopefully next year I'll be able to have a salary based on content creation. That way I'm not touching my reselling. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. At the same time, I guess networking, Glenn. Have I been networking harder than ever this year?
Yeah, I mean, going to events, you've been talking to sellers that I've never met before or anything like
Yeah.
that, which I
So I
like.
think
I think we'll help that on the podcast, right? Like these
yeah,
are sellers that we have never reached out to or know, but
right. Just different categories that we don't even know. Like trust me, I've talked to $1 million sellers, and like I no way would have I found them without networking. Um, like possibly getting supply of products delivered to me. So I'm not moving away from reselling. Reselling is the main, but if I can do reselling supplemented by content creation, and you know there's really no 50-50, but if I can get it close to that and be effective, I think it would be good overall.
here's a question I guess for you. I mean, you've mentioned this too. You've been mentioning a little bit earlier. Do you want to be seen as a seller with knowledge to help other people, or do you want to be on the sneaker side of things?
No, not definitely not on the sneaker side of things. I think I want to be, again, like if you guys know me to my core, I would be happier if I help somebody succeed. Um I'm at a point where like I want people to make more money than I am. Obviously it's nice to make money, but I think obviously if your content or your experience or your expertise get valued more from other brands, that you get to have a seat on the table and then help other people resell and create a business and then have a business still. I think that's the trifecta for me,
Mm-hmm.
because what we're trying to do is we're not trying to become so busy within our business. I want to be so good at our business that it doesn't take that much time. Because would you agree, right? If we say like, okay, let's build $100,000 net profit store, it's not gonna take as much time as what we did last time.
Hmm.
You could start over again and be there way faster, correct?
Well, with the knowledge that we have
Yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah. That,
yes.
that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So like to maintain a healthy store, it doesn't take that much time. So what I want to do is invest in content creation, helping other people.
let's see, sell mentorships, be a course seller. There you go, Caltrix. People will make more money selling courses than reselling. Well, I
Yeah.
think the thing is that. Well, go ahead.
Would you I don't like that.
Because
But again, teachers teach and they don't even practice,
well, that's what's going on in college.
right?
I mean, that's what I learned. I learned from old programs that my instructors never even. They don't even know
Right.
what the updates were. I mean,
Exactly, right? Now like there's Photoshop AI, Premiere Pro AI, and it's so different from what you went to school for. So I think I want to be that live teacher because I'm still practicing. The professor that I've learned the most are the people that actually was running businesses. They were
was they were running businesses.
I mean they were still running businesses while they were a professor. That's what I want to be. I want to be the professor and a teacher that is doing it.
Yeah, they're active in the market, in the field, in the now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, that only makes
Yeah, like
sense.
I can't yeah, I can tell you how to project sales with not having to do it.
Well, that's oh man. Well, that's where we were on the entertainment side when we talked about the eBay side. Okay, so would you learn how to resell from a YouTuber that has 100 listings? Yes or no? I mean,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you
Or
can learn how to you can't you like so my analogy Glenn is there are people that are teaching other people how to get off the couch. I think
mm-hmm,
those are the popular entertainment clickbait videos.
mm-hmm,
Like it's so entertaining, it's so catchy that it will make you get off your couch and go to a Ross. Those are good. But what is missing is once you get out of your couch and you're starting to build a business, I don't think there's enough resources for people to learn from. The
that's true.
inventory management, the shipping, the things that we have shared over time, I don't think there's a go-to place for that.
Yeah,
They'll get you to a certain point, to 100 listings, but 100 listings is not potentially livable.
yeah,
But we've said it here, 100,000 inventory is the goal.
yeah.
And we can teach people that over and over and over again.
Retrospective, I like that. If the sell-through rate 100 listings 70 sold, I'm interested. Okay, that's a good example. Okay, you got me there. No, I agree. I mean, and when you're actively doing it, like for example, we'd be talking about cancellations right now. eBay,
Hmm.
they're dude, these cancellations are getting wild, and that's something that we got to talk to them about next month, because I thought that was supposed to stop, and there was supposed to be something there for these buyers that are canceling right away. And I don't know. There seems like it got ramped up somehow.
Hmm.
I bought it by mistake. I don't see
Oh
something's
yeah,
weird's going
wrong
on here.
payment method. I had two
Yeah,
last
that's
week
yeah.
because they
No,
did automatic, right? They did automatic play.
exactly. Now
Oh,
we're
it,
getting a bunch of cancellations right after. So because of this, now we have this issue. That's something we got to talk to eBay about. That's something that we would be talking to you guys about because we're
but
actively in this.
right. We could easily bring it up. But here's the thing though. That's we're gonna have a discussion. We're gonna have like what should we lobby for us all? Maybe we can have a session for that before we head there.
All right, I think we're done. I think we got a lot of random stuff
Yeah.
to talk about. The cancellation I've been crazing didn't start till Glenn mentioned it. Retrospective.
Um, I do like what Mahai said. Do what brings you fulfillment. I think. Would you agree that we're at that point that we want more fulfillment than money?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like I'm not giving my full potential and helping like I
Yeah,
could.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
so that's what I have to figure out. But how do I get to that point? And maybe, like we said, it is channel number 2. So,
Yeah.
is this the last show? No, but
No.
we're definitely figuring out how
For this week, it is.
to get that. Yeah, to get to that point and to know that hey, here's our next game plan and how we're gonna like configure this thing out. So,
Mhm.
all right, we're done.
We're done.
Enjoy your
Hey,
Wednesday.
if you guys have anything serious to talk about or wants to suggest, DM us,
Yeah,
email us.
send me a DM, send me a DM.
Yeah,
Gladly want to know,
yeah.
or anything like that. So, all right, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Got to get that edited, and yeah, we're done. Go ahead and get it.